Welcome to the first ever episode of Who Am I? It's my first show. We're going to talk about, I'm going to name a guy that either played for the Bears, the Bulls, the White Sox, or the Blackhawks, and you have to guess which team he played for. So the first guy that we have is a guy named Donnell Wolford. If you can tell me which team he played for, I'll give you his career stats at the end. And while that's going on, until we can get some comments for that, Chris, can you pull up the first slide?
Since you're so difficult.
I'm going to talk about the Chicago Bears for a little bit. First, we're going to go into who their starting quarterback for the upcoming season is going to be. There's a lot of rumors going out there that they can either get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. For me personally, I'd like to see him get Watson, but I don't think the Bears have the draft capital for that. They don't have the ammo to get Houston what they want as far as a young quarterback that they're looking for in a return trade for Watson. And then with Wilson, Seattle, I guess he just sat down with Pete Carroll the other day and they had a nice long talk. But a thing came out today saying that they released a letter to the fans, and they didn't include Russell Wilson in there. So he might be on his way out, and hopefully Chicago's in on that. I know they're talking about it. They're talking about making him a priority to make a run at him. I don't even care if they have to trade Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith and a couple first-rounders to get it done. Make it happen. It's not every day you get a franchise quarterback like Russ Wilson. And then in other breaking news that came out today, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys agreed to a new contract, a 4-year, $160 million contract with $126 guaranteed. He gets $66 million signing bonus and $75 million in year one. That is crazy for a guy like Dak Prescott coming off that ankle injury. I'm glad that they re-signed him and he didn't become a free agent because I think Chicago might have made a run at him. And then the Dolphins made a trade for a tackle from the Titans, Isaiah Wilson. I'm not sure what they gave up in that. And then the Jets franchise tagged Marcus Maine. Speaking of the franchise tag, will the Bears use a franchise tag on Allen Robinson? I hope so, because he's the only guy on offense that we have that really did anything for us as far as putting up numbers. And you got a comment from Chris Brown. Can you throw that out there, Chris? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you trade Roquan and Mac for Russ. You got to do something because those guys are fighting for their jobs. So we'll see what happens. But as far as Robinson goes, if they tag him, they can always trade him for a pick, which I see that's probably what's going to happen because Robinson wants $20 million a year. And I don't think he's that kind of receiver. He's a top 10 receiver for sure, but he's not up there with the elite guys like your Hopkins and your those kind of caliber receivers and Devontae Adams and those guys and Michael Thomas. He's not one of those. I don't think he's going to get that kind of money anywhere. So thank you, Freddie. Thanks for the congrats on having my own show. Anybody have any guess to who Donnell Wolford played for yet? It's either Bears, Bulls, White Sox, or Blackhawks, one of those teams. And then I see Allen Robinson getting traded to the Jets. I know that's where he really wants to go. He's had it on. He's liked a couple of their posts. Either that or he can also go back to the Jags. But honestly, I really want the Bears to keep him. But not at $20 million a year. That's just crazy. And then you get into the draft. If they can't get one of these quarterbacks they're trying to get, they can always draft a guy, but all the good guys are going to be gone by the time they get to 20. So they're going to have to trade up to get one of the good quarterbacks there, like Trey Lance or Mac Jones. If they don't trade for any of these quarterbacks, I wouldn't mind seeing them taking Kyle Trask from Florida. That's the guy I really like out of the draft. They can get him in like second, third round and stock up on linemen. I know their line played really good at the end of the year. So a lot of good things happening coming up free agency. The legal tampering period starts next week. It's not the Bulls, Jason. It's not the Bulls. Well, I get it. Your team is owned my team. They beat us a lot over the years, 22, and I think it's 22-3 in the last 25 games or something like that. Crazy. Green Bay owns us. I hate Aaron Rodgers. Moving on. Going to kind of keep the show short and sweet for my first show because I didn't realize this is a lot to fill with just myself. So I'm new to this. Just give me a chance. Bear with me while I work through my first show here. Kind of nervous, I don't have somebody else to bounce ideas off of besides people in the comments here. So keep the comments coming. There was one piece of good news for the Bears that just came up a while ago. Eddie Goldman's going to come back and play this year. He's going to return from the COVID list, so that'll definitely help the front seven. As far as the Bears signing anybody in free agency, we're really short on as far as cap room, so I don't see us making a major splash there. Chicago Fire, I don't really follow soccer. That's soccer, right? I don't follow the soccer too much, so anybody who knows me knows I just follow basketball, football, and baseball. And it's not a Chicago Fire player either. I'll give you a hint. He played back in the late 80s to the mid 90s. Donnell Wolford. Anybody got any guesses yet? Okay, so nobody's got any yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and okay, you want some of his stats? That kind of ruins it, though, because then it see, just gave it away. Thanks, Chris. He played for the Bears. He played in 126 games. He had 36 picks. Return yards 303 yards, and he had one touchdown return off those picks. Really underrated corner for the Bears during his time there. After he played for us for 9 years. Then he went to the Steelers, played there for a couple of years, and then he finished out his career with the Panthers. Really underrated corner. He's one of my favorite corners for the Bears. Let's see what else I could talk about. That's all I got for this episode. Like I said, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. 10 minutes for this show. Check me out next Monday. Promise it'll be a lot better. I'll be more prepared. It's my first show, so What do I think about the new overtime rules for the NFL? Are you talking about the one where the whoever wins the coin flip gets to pick the yard line they start on, and the other team gets to pick who gets the ball or whatever? Is that the one? Because if that's the one you're talking about, then yeah, I don't know about that, because I say you keep it the way it is. I mean, you got a team that gets the ball. It's your job as a defense to stop them and keep them from scoring. So I say you just keep it the way it is. Maybe, I don't know. Just keep it the way it is. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the show here. Catch me next week. I promise it'll be better.